And then from there, made the evolution to breatharianism.
And what happened between those steps? Because it's a big step. It's a step that most people don't even know exists.
It's a huge step, and I could go on forever in a day. Really.
What about the next 2 minutes?
What
can we say in 2 minutes about So I get the feeling, because I really kind of sensing how much you were intuitively guided. So I get the feeling it was another kind of like big, almost like a leap of faith. But you had the faith in your intuition.
It was hard work. It was hard work following this leap of faith. I decided to follow my own intuition. I had no idea what this intuition was. I just knew it felt right, and I went with it.
Had you connected with previous information or teachers on Breatharianism before? Not at all.
It was just my gut instinct.
So you didn't even know what the word meant at the time. You had to kind of you had to look up what you were doing, and it turned out you were doing Breatharianism. Reverse engineering.
Breatharianism, I knew what it was because I came into contact with it as a liquidarian. Fruitarianism, I didn't know what it was. I thought I made the word up.
Okay.
And liquidarianism and breatharianism, I found out as I went along.
Yes.
But in terms of teachers, XYZ, I was always going against the grain. So nobody wanted to support me or had faith in me, and breatharianism came along under duress. I didn't want to do it. I was so against it. Didn't think it was natural.
When the idea came up, you mean?
I got the calling for breatharianism probably while I was in the middle of liquidarianism, and I would have spurts of it.
Yes, as in fasting.
Yeah, fasting and extended fast.
Fasting from water as well.
Eventually, yes. In the latter stages, and then I went back to liquids, because I saw it as a failure. But really, I was just getting the inklings. I was just getting the exposure, the activation to it, and then when I was ready, again that switch would flick, bang. I was ready, and it was natural. Because a big misconception is that you restrict. It's something you do. It's something you plan. There's a method to it. For me, there was no method. And that's how I learnt it. And to this day now, I've been 1.5 years, no solids, no water, and it's pure liberation, freedom in every single way. And to this. For me, the only obstacles are how you deal with the social aspects and the resistance, and your own self-limiting thoughts. So,
are you saying you've had no water for 1.5 years, or is that for actually 1.5 years? Nothing has entered your lips?
No external water. Me, I would say I always tell people that I swallow my spit.
Sure. And maybe a little bit of water vapour in the atmosphere.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't really attach myself to the label breatharianism because there's so much more to it.
Yes.
The sun, the atmosphere, the vapours. From what I understand, what's in the vapours is everything the body needs. And after that, my experience is that the body recycles. To me, when you start to put things like cooked food, then you distract and you drain, you mess the whole recycling thing up because now your body has to give, use what you put in your body.
Well, to work to assimilate and then eliminate, which is a big energy process.
Yeah, so you've given away what you are supposed to be recycling. So you have to, you get caught in this whole replacing theory thing.
So, I mean,
that's just my opinion.
Yeah, for me, the things that are coming up with listening to the whole story of breatharianism is it's like when someone has sight and then goes blind, the other faculties become more sensitive. Right. So do you feel that for example, your previous abilities to absorb sunlight, the full spectrum of the sunlight, to take in and utilise the high quality, negatively charged oxygen in the atmosphere and the water vapour, to absorb the ground prana, the natural electromagnetism of the earth itself, have all increased.
Oh, very much
to obviously counterbalance the fact that you're no longer getting energy from other sources.
My layman's terms is you take cooked food out of the equation, your body can do what it's supposed to do. All of that stuff I don't know, all the technical stuff I don't know, and to be honest with you, I don't really care to know. My thing is that I just live. I let my body do all that stuff. You know, I'm not very clever, and I just don't want all that stuff in my brain. So my thing is just to live, and that's exactly right. Your senses, your body takes over, you know, and does what it originally is supposed to be doing. And thankfully, my body is in a condition that it can do that.
Have you ever? I assume you've come across the world's most famous sun gazer, HRM, who's basically put himself up for intense research. I think the longest one he did was 1.5 years, actually.
Something like 400 and something days. Right?
Something like this, yeah. Various universities, Johns Hopkins University, and you know, the idea of people living without food is becoming quite prevalent. Actually, I've just been noticing people sending me a few YouTube videos. Even, have you checked out this? Have you checked out this? Guys in India, guys in the Philippines, guys in Mongolia, this type of thing. And before you know it, you've got thousands and sometimes millions of hits looking at people that actually fundamentally are expressing this type of concept. And there's a long lineage of people that have been doing this for a while. So do you feel that you're part of a lineage, or do you feel that you're so pioneeringly individualistic that you're doing your own thing and it's not about following a lineage? Do you believe that maybe you are the holder of a baton to show people that there are other ways of existing?
That's a double-edged sword, because if you ask me, I'd say hell no. But I personally know the universe. That is my role, my purpose at this moment in time is to be the physical example. It's not to be the teacher, it's not to be the guru, it's just to be the example, to show the possibilities. Yes.
This is a key thing, because for me, whether something can be fundamentally proved or disproved in individuals or in circumstances, the more liberating idea is that there is a possibility, a theoretical or potential possibility for something to exist, you know? And the idea, I don't know, I was just thinking about it while you were speaking, whether we know what gravity is or whether we know how it works, fundamentally it keeps every single one of us here on Earth, not flying up into the atmosphere. And I get the feeling it's the same thing with a lot of these forces you're talking about. We don't actually need to fundamentally understand, although interesting as it is to understand how they're working, but they all keep us in a position of relative vitality, and it's up to us how much vitality we have by obviously eliminating things that are constricting our connection to these things. So, well, it's been fascinating just listening to kind of the whole situation here, and I'm sure in the future we will do another interview, a more kind of comprehensive one, but thank you so much for a lovely conversation.